What's the difference between building an app and building an IoT device? You'd be surprised at just how different they can be. Hello and welcome back to Swattage, the Software Innovation Lab. If you're new here, my name is Dale Richards. I'm a software innovator from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I love making software that changes the world. I'm building a SaaS product from concept to cash, and I'm taking you with me for the ride. If you want to build apps, grow your SaaS business, and make money doing cool software entrepreneur-related stuff, start now by subscribing and hitting the bell. Coding an app and coding an IoT device are not the same thing. We asked Christi, Luciani, and Newbold from Tinker RND what the main technical differences are in the development process.
The biggest difference that you might encounter is really data types and managing your memory. So you really need to be cognizant of the space that you're taking up. We have very limited space on hardware. Yeah, so data type are your variable types. So you have things like integers, which are single digits. It can be positive and negative. You can have doubles, which are integers, including decimal spaces. And then you have different variations of those for length of decimals. You have objects. You have, what other ones are there?
There's a lot of different objects.
A lot of different kinds of objects, arrays, collections of objects, and so those are the general data types that you typically would work with. If you have any kind of web background or anything, they're all the same across all programming platforms. However, we just need to utilize the data types that take up the least amount of space in hardware development. Buffer overflow.
What does that mean?
You will have data start to bleed into places it does not belong, and you might start getting memory to overwrite other parts of memory on your device.
Big problem.
So it will not operate as you intended.
What will happen?
It'll just get hot and turn off.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't fry anything.
Yeah, depends on what it's plugged into.
Yeah, hopefully you can just reflash that and fix your problem. That would be a best case scenario. So we can use things like hexadecimal over binary to save lots of space. Also, that's true for across the board on all the other data types. So long integers, you want to truncate those appropriately.
A lot of weird low-level programming problems like that. So if your team hasn't had experience with like integrated devices or embedded frameworks, you might need to hire a new software developer because it's a lot different than a web application or something like that. They'll usually identify themselves as like an embedded developer or even a hardware engineer or developer. Look for the word firmware in their LinkedIn profile, or even if they just have experience with a lower level language like C++ or C, it really gives you a head start.
Join us again. Videos are published every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 noon Mountain Time.